Approaching women can be one of the scariest things in the world for men, but it doesn't have to be. In this video, Rich from datingmetrics.com and I are going to be sharing with you 6 powerful tips that you can use to overcome approach anxiety with women. Let's get started, because most guys, I think, are going to be interested in night game. Whenever you see a girl at the club, describe this process to me.
When I first started going out clubbing, I forced trained myself to get over the approach anxiety. Now at the beginning, I was so nervous, I didn't approach anyone. I'd be standing up against the wall all night long, sipping multiple drinks, getting wasted, and then going home without talking to a single girl. But gradually, over time, of course, I pushed this mindset out because I started to understand, wait a minute, all you need to think about in your brain when you go into a bar or a club is this. The girls who are going there are there for attention, but they're also expecting men to come and talk to them. Girls will not go to bars and clubs thinking, oh, if I go here, no guy's gonna approach me. I mean, if they didn't, then why would they be there? Why would they spend hours doing their makeup, getting dressed up, and then going to the bars? Once you get this in your head that the girls there, they want to be approached or they're expecting to be approached, then you can go into every interaction thinking, I'm gonna make this girl's night. I'm gonna be the funniest guy she meets tonight. And just knowing this means, what is the harm in it? There's no harm in it. It's not like you're approaching her in a toilet. You know, you're just opening the door and she's in there. It's like, hey girl. So as soon as you catch a girl's eyes and you smile, you have to go over immediately. Even if it goes bad, and she's like, sorry, actually I'm waiting for friends, or sorry, I have a boyfriend. Just walk away feeling happy, because you've already done it. You've done the approach, but you've also just made her feel desired. And then you just roll on from that set and just open another one and just keep on rolling. And then by that time, the approach anxiety just goes less and less and less.
Whenever I have guys that I'm coaching, they always get nervous about going up to a girl in a bar, but they'll always come up with something in their head. Yeah. Like, what if that guy she's talking to is her boyfriend? Or what if her boyfriend's in the bathroom right now? What if? How do you get past those what if questions?
You just focus on how beautiful she is, and then you just, like a horse wearing those eye things,
the
just
blinders?
Focus down the blinders, and you just go straight in, and everything else is just a blur to you. If you're worried about what other people think of you, have a few drinks. But the most important thing is, none of it matters. What matters is the interaction with you and that girl, and if she's got a boyfriend, if there are other friends there, whatever. No biggie. You didn't know, did you?
To the, does she have a boyfriend or something like that? One of my absolute favorite quotes on this: stop asking her if she has a boyfriend. Introduce yourself and then let her decide if she's single. And that's the right mindset to have, because maybe her boyfriend is in the bathroom, but she's really into you and wants to give you her number before he gets back. Or maybe that guy that was chatting her up at the bar earlier, she was into him, but now she's more into you. Just put what you've got out there and let her decide. As to the other idea of worrying about other people noticing you in the bar, let me go ahead and put that to rest right now. Stop and flip that around for a minute. Whenever you're sitting in the bar, and let's say that there's 50 people, it's a pretty crowded night. How many of those people in that bar, more specifically, how many of the guys in that bar have you noticed what they're doing? Probably none, right? Now, if another girl notices you going up to talk to her, then that's because she's already paying attention to you.
And that's good.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Try and take a third-person view on worries like that, because whenever you get out of your own head and you look at it from the outside and you realize, like, oh, I'm not noticing other people either, they're not gonna notice, right? They're not gonna notice, they're not gonna pay any attention to what I do. I really like this idea, especially the one about keeping on having fun. And this is the most important thing, is you can't let any of this stuff really affect you personally. I would go out to a bar and I would approach a girl, get shot down, and be like, well, that was my approach for the night. Time to get wasted. And guess what? I never got laid doing that, did I? This is one of the best times to have a wingman whenever you're first getting started, because the wingman may not actually be there to help you get the girl, but more just like, hey, it's cool, man. You gave it everything you had. Let's keep going. And they will help to keep you on track. I have a bit of a different take on approach anxiety than Rich. I actually enjoy it. I personally view approach anxiety as a sign from your body telling you, that's a good one. Go get her right now. It's literally your biology. Your ancestors are calling you from on high saying, make me some new babies. Make our lineage longer with that one. And so instead of trying to overcome the approach anxiety, I use it as a signal, like a lightning strike, to really kick me into gear. So whenever I see a girl especially on the street. You can't wait to get eye contact and a small smile before you approach. Instead, you need to use that approach anxiety, use those butterflies as your cue. When you feel that, that's the sign for you to go and approach her. Retrain your mind to think, oh, that's the sign. That's the sign that I have to go and approach her. And then you'll get it into your head that when you see that girl, you must go and approach her. For me, that's always been the best way to get past this, because so far, and I've been doing this for over a decade, and I have not found a way to actually eliminate approach anxiety. So instead, use that feeling to bring a little extra spark into your approach and into your conversation with her, especially when you're doing it on the street or in the daytime, anywhere. One of the biggest things that you have to get over in the daytime is you have to get over the fear of talking to strangers. Did you guys know that the #1 fear in the whole wide world, it's not spiders, it's not snakes, it's not Donald Trump, it's public speaking. And that also translates down to talking to strangers on the street. Now, earlier I talked about using that approach excitement to kind of build into it and use that as a spark to strike up your engine and go do the approach, but also try to build in some sort of a physical action. Now, that could be something as simple as clapping, saying, "Here we go," and then going and doing the approach. But find something that you can do physically. It must be physically, it cannot be mental. And when you do that action, you must approach. So once you start building that into your day game approaches, then you will find that as soon as you do that, whatever that physical action is, your body will just start going. Trust in what you already know to be true and go up there and do the approach. And whenever you go up to her and you say, "Oh, hi, I just saw you browsing the book section over here. I was wondering, is there anything new in? Or could you maybe recommend something to me?" But you go up and you do the approach. You keep going, because you've got that physical cue. Let all of that stuff work for you and ignore the things in your brain that are trying to work against you. Newton's first law of motion: an object in motion tends to stay in motion. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. If you don't do those approaches, you are an object at rest and you will tend to not do future approaches. If you go up and strike up a conversation, even if you get rejected, you're still in motion. And the good news is, if you're doing enough approaches, that means that you're approaching the 6s on the street, you're approaching the 7s on the street, and then when you do run into that 9, that 10, you're already in motion and you're already warmed up, revved up, ready to go, and you will approach her. And that is how you end up getting those hottest girls. That's how you end up getting your dream girlfriend. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful and want to take your dating life to the next level, click the link in the description to set up a free coaching call with me today.